Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It feels like an old friend's comeback with this, isn't it?
Oh, I know.
14 years.
14 years. Channel 10 tonight, 7:30. Thank God you're here. He's back.
Well, you know what's scary about that, though, is, yes, it's an old friend revisiting, but where does the time go?
Well said,
well
Kate
said,
Ritchie.
Kate.
Best thing you've said all morning.
And the host tonight, she joins us right now, Celia Pacquloa. Welcome!
Hello!
Good morning. I know, can you believe it?
This is exciting
14
and an
years,
honour.
Yep. It really is. For me, absolutely. I was in the audience 14 years ago.
Were you? Did you go and see a filming of it?
I just started stand-up, so I'd just done my first show. So maybe if there'd been a season 5, I might have gotten close to going through the door, but they shut it down.
And who did you see?
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing who? I think Merrick, when I did breakfast radio with him, he would toddle off and do Thank God You're Here.
Yeah.
Who
Merrick
else
was
did
one
you
of
see?
the absolute stars at it. He was so good at it. So Felicity Ward was my best friend and housemate at the time, so that's who I was watching. But I think she was on with Hamish and Josh Lawson. I think it was an absolute stacked. But at the time, that's the thing. Like, when you think back then, Josh Lawson, I think that show really had something to do with breaking him. He was so good at it. And Hamish as well.
Well, see, you don't have to be a comedian. This is the thing, Celia. The actors, and I remember Angus Sampson was another one as well, who dominated this format. Yeah, the actors are the ones that really stand out and are very quick on their feet.
But also there's people like Fifi Box, who, fun fact, was actually the first person to go through the door ever, who was so wonderful and memorable at it, mainly because of how terrified she was. It was an absolute delight to watch her just giggle her way through and have these incredible moments when you see how scared they are and they do it anyway, which I think is what is part of the joy of this show. It's so warm and everyone's on your side because it's a lot of people's actual nightmare.
Yeah. That is so true, because you've got, say, your Hamish and your Josh Lawsons, and they make it look like a rehearsed scene because they're so good at it. And then you take a Fifi or somebody who's standing there asking the question, what am I doing here? I don't know why.
Which is great.
I don't know why I'm here. So you've got both sides to it.
There's no rules, and I think the toughest job is the ensemble cast who are in there who aren't allowed to laugh.
Of course.
And who have to sort of keep things moving along and have some semblance of control, whereas the performer can do whatever they want. It's a playground for them. Are they going to go into the audience? Are they going to climb something? Like Frank Woodley as well. Do you remember him?
Oh,
He's one of my favourites, who would you just never knew. You know, if you put him in a costume, you just didn't know if it was coming off. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, it also started the career of Ed Cavalier, and Ed was an actor on there as well. He wasn't even a contestant.
I didn't know that.
He was one of the ensemble. He is the master of the straight face. He was excellent at it. I'm not going to lie to you. And look, I've told him this. Had a crush on him. I think a lot of us did.
Did you? I mean, how did that not work out between you guys?
Tiff probably got in the way.
No. Then I met him. And I love him dearly. He's a very funny guy, but not much, anyway, it all worked out for the best. No, it didn't took off. But
Celia, you're talking about this being like people's absolute worst nightmare. And let's be honest, not only are you a very talented actress, but you're a very, very funny woman as well. Why didn't you put your hand up to walk through that blue door? I mean, I've heard that you're quite happy to be hosting instead.
Absolutely. This is the thing. There's no putting your hand up. You sort of get chosen, you know. If I was asked to do it, I would do it, but I'm okay that I'm not. Like, I love a script. It's just scary. I don't do character. I don't know. I just don't know what I'd do. Maybe I'd go in there and just cry for 5 minutes. Like, you just don't know.
You don't know how you're going to react.
As host, I get the joy of getting to, be there every episode. I never miss an episode, because if I miss an episode, something's gone terribly wrong. And I should be there. Also, I get the joy of, it's a lot of my comedy heroes and then also a lot of my mates being there. So I am just thrilled, and I'm just happy the show's back in general.
Can you tell us, can you give us a heads up? Because I think when anybody in the entertainment game thinks about doing this, or if you're part of the public and you're sitting at home watching going, how would I go on this show? Your mind then, the next step naturally is to go, what is a scene that would suit me? Like, what scene? Would I be great in a beach? Would I step out onto the moon? What is through that door?
A bank robbery.
A bank robbery. Can you give us a heads up on some of the themes we might see tonight?
Oh, not tonight. I don't want to spoil anything.
Right,
but you never know. But we do ask that pet question. And some people, like Julia Zamiro is famous for saying she always wants a period costume. She's like, put me in a corset.
Sure.
I want to be in a thing. Whereas some people just want to be, they just don't want to be with animals, or they don't want to be in a around heights or something.
So that's exactly what you do?
Yes.
Well,
kick them through the door.
There was a story with Fifi. I've got to stop telling you other people's anecdotes, but my mind is just
Go for it.
Treasure trove of this. Is she was supposed to be in a scene with a bunch of dogs. She was a dog trainer. This was in the old season. And the producers only found out a couple of days beforehand, accidentally, that she had quite a large phobia of dogs. So they had to change it at the last minute, thank goodness, and just swapped scenes, because otherwise she would have actually been put in a small room with a television camera with her actual phobia. So.
I know this season's been shot. Next season, I just wanted to throw someone's name in there. Ryan James Fitzgerald. He's allergic. Well, here's
Come
the
on,
thing.
mate.
No.
Okay, I'm your agent on the phone. Come on, Fitzy.
No, but
Would
this
you
is
do it?
Celia,
Thank
here's
God
what
you're
we
here.
do. He's allergic to latex. So something where he had to be dressed in rubber so the comedy would come from his face swelling and his head swelling to 3 times the size.
You're like, well, that was a twist. I didn't see the ambulance coming in at the end. That was quite a twist.
I found out later in life that I am allergic to latex. And I found out
Sounds
that
like a lie.
Whipper put me into
swells.
a Batman mask for the show, and my head blew up, Celia. It looked like I'd been bitten by bees.
Now that's entertainment. You see what I mean? It's a layer.
Well,
Thank God you're here.
I'm allergic to latex. Really does sound like something you would say to a woman.
Yeah,
But
they all say that, don't they,
sure.
Celia?
But I will say to you, this might blow your brain apart, but we haven't finished shooting. We are currently still shooting. So
Okay.
I'm not in charge. Put in the call.
Well, Celia, we are so excited. It's back. Thank God you're here. Tonight, 7:30 on Channel 10. Good luck with it, Celia. We can't wait.
Thank you.
No worries.
Great
See
to
you
see
later.
We'll see you soon.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.